Amazon Web Services provides access to many robust services and platforms that help you meet your data analytics needs. In this demo, we will walk through extracting data from an on-premise SQL Server database and loading it into two cloud data warehouse solutions that include Amazon Redshift and Snowflake. Let us first look at the on-premise SQL Server database where we will be extracting data from. In our demo, we will be working with sample healthcare data, but any source database can be used in substitution. So as you can see here, we're working with a dimensional model for healthcare data. We'll be looking specifically at this table, dim bill type, and we will be showing you how we will be loading this end to end. And as you can see here, this is an example of some of the data that we're going to be working with. Next step is for Matillion to move the data from an on-premise database to the AWS cloud in S3. Before we do that, let's take a quick look at S3. S3 is an object-based storage solution provided in AWS. It is very similar in concept to a traditional file system, but it has its differences. So as you can see here, we're working with a bucket here called Sense Corp data. Right now, we do not have any flat files or any data loaded into this bucket, but once we kick off our Matillion job, we should see data populated here. The source data will be pushed into flat files in the cloud by using Matillion. Matillion is a cloud ETL ELT tool similar to Informatica and or Azure Data Factory. So let's go ahead and hop into Matillion. So Matillion has many functionalities, such as a drag and drop user interface, plenty of data components to work with, and it provides seamless integration to Amazon Web Services and their other products. So now that we understand how the source data will be pushed into the cloud, let's go ahead and kick off this job and see it in action. And we'll give this 1 second to run. There we go, it is complete. So now that we're going to go ahead and switch back to S3, and let's go ahead and refresh this so we can see the data that has now been populated. Awesome. At this point, we now have flat files in the cloud that are ready to be ingested by Matillion to feed into our cloud data warehouse solutions. For this portion of the demo, I will be showing you data pipelines that feed into Snowflake and Redshift, which are two market-leading cloud data warehouse platforms. Before I show you the Matillion job that loads the data into these cloud data warehouses, I would like to give you an idea of the tables and data warehouses we will be loading into. So first, let's go ahead and hop into Amazon Redshift. Perfect. So as we can see here, this is the inbuilt query editor for Redshift. We are going to be loading into this table called dim bill type, and I just ran a quick select query to make sure that there's no data in there, and as we can see, it is completely empty. And so next, I wanted to show you the same thing in Snowflake. So as you can see here, we are now in the Snowflake console. I did the same thing. I basically created the same structure, and we will go ahead and the select star from dim bill type has already been run. And as you can see here, there is no data that has been populated. So at this point, we are ready to load the data warehouse with data. So let's go ahead and kick off that process. So first, let's go ahead and do it for Redshift. So I will go ahead and run this job in Matillion, and we give that a second to run. Perfect. As you can see, it has loaded the data from S3 into Redshift, and we can also do the same for Snowflake. And this is basically two different jobs to run, one for Redshift and one for Snowflake. So I will go ahead and run this one, and we'll give this one a second to run. And while that's running, I'll go ahead and switch over to Redshift to essentially test out that the data has been loaded correctly. So now I'll go ahead and run this query to basically see the data inside of Redshift, and I will also kick off that same select in Snowflake. So as we can see here, the data is ready to rock and roll, and we have populated it from all the way from an on-premise SQL Server database all the way into these cloud data warehouses, at least into Redshift. And then we can do the same for Snowflake. And as we can see, it has basically populated the same data. So in conclusion, S3, Matillion, Redshift, and Snowflake can be used to build powerful data pipelines that your organization can leverage in your journey to the cloud. Furthermore, with the data now being in the cloud, it allows organizations to move towards more modern self-service analytics and allow organizations to make more data-driven decisions. Thank you so much for your time and have a good day.